The bottom line is that you should not give a number when they ask you this question, because if you give a number, you lose. It's just that simple. The problem is that they're trying to get somebody for cheap. Okay, all things being equal, they want to get a candidate to fill the role and do a good job, but they get added points, bonus points, if they get that person for cheap. So if you suspect that they're trying to lowball you, that is absolutely correct. So the problem is that if you give a number and that number is above their hurdle number that only they know and they don't disclose to you, then they eliminate you because you asked for too much money, right? The problem, though, is that if your number is too low, then, as you guys suspected, it doesn't make sense for you to take the job, right? Because if you're getting minimum wage or something for it, and that's really not appropriate for your skill set and education and experience, then it doesn't make any sense for you to do this, right? So you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. So the idea is you can try and avoid the question. Some people say negotiable, things like this, but those don't really work if they are really pushing you for a number, because they'll say, okay, no problem. What does that mean in terms of numbers, right? You could say market price, something that's fair, and they say, okay, yeah, no problem. That sounds good. What does that mean to you in terms of a number? So you can't really get out that way. What you can do is you can do this. Number one, you could say, well, it's too soon to say. Right? At this point, I hardly know anything about the job. I don't know the benefits you guys provide, if any. That's kind of important. So I can't really say at this juncture. Right? Sometimes that'll work. A lot of times it won't. They'll keep pushing you. In which case, you could try another approach. You could turn the question around at them and say, listen, this job has been posted officially by the company. Therefore, it must have been approved and discussed. Therefore, the salary range must have been approved and discussed. So can I ask what it is? And sometimes they'll tell you, but a lot of times they won't. If those don't work, there's one final thing that you do, and that's you give a wide range. Okay? You say, like, look, at this point, I can't really say. I would imagine somewhere between here and here should be good. Somewhere in there should be fine. That's all I can say at this point. And the low number and the high number, they're not ridiculous, okay, but they're a stretch. So a low number that's very low but reasonable, and a high number that's very high but reasonable, right? Just within reason. That's the range you give. You say somewhere between this amount and that amount, somewhere in there, I'm sure we'll be fine. That's all I can say. Now, if they push you beyond that, first of all, it's starting to get weird. It's starting to get to the point where, like, okay, what's going on here? This is like, you're being really pushy about this. Second thing is you don't actually give anything else than the answer you've already given. You say, like, well, like I said, between here and here, that's unfortunately all I can say at this moment. I can't pare it down any more than that right now. Okay, so that's how you handle that question. The question of salary is huge in the hiring process, and there's all kinds of factors. Oh, something I've heard that people keep posting in the comments is, just say you're under NDA, like a non-disclosure agreement. No, that's idiotic. They don't do NDAs for salary. They do NDAs for trade secrets and intellectual property. They don't do NDAs for salary. So if you say that, you might think that's very clever, but the recruiter can see right through that. They know you're lying because they know that nobody does non-disclosure agreements for, like, your pay. You know what I mean? Now, if you don't believe me on that, go ask ChatGPT, go ask, go look at other places on the internet, go do your research. That's that. So don't say, like, I can't disclose, I'm under an NDA. If they ask you, what's your current salary? Same thing. Don't say I'm under an NDA and I can't disclose it. Instead, to that, you say, well, that's actually something that I have a personal policy that I don't disclose. That's personal. It's confidential. There are privacy issues involved. I'm sure you understand. Okay, so that's how you answer that. And if they keep pushing you on it, they say, well, we understand all that, but we still need a number from you. You say, like, well, unfortunately, like I explained, I can't give that to you because there's confidentiality issues, privacy issues. I'm sure you understand. I can't, it's like if you ask me for a credit card number, I can't give that to you. I'm sorry. Right? So that's just how you do it.